I'm here to share you my story about my home birth. I was filled with excitement. I didn't remember any pain at that moment. So what did I do? How did I prepare for it? How was it mentally? How was it physically? What checks did I do? Before I was pregnant, Noam and I started working out, and that really helped my pregnancy, and also it prepared me for my home birth. What we did was a lot of pull-ups. There's a special workout that I do right now in pregnancy so that I can prepare for my home birth, and I don't do too much that my body would feel uncomfortable or it harms the baby. Other than that, I thought it was very important to have a good meal, to take good nutrients and good things, and especially not take things that you don't need to. When we went to check in the ultrasound, the doctor was like, do you eat enough vitamins and nutrients and everything? I'm like, no, I don't take them. I only take it from food. So the doctor was kind of skeptical, and then right before I left, he's like, eat anything you want. I don't agree with the doctor. Even though it is the doctor, you have to eat good food, healthy food. And instead of eating healthy food, people in their pregnancy, they eat anything they want and they take vitamins. But instead of that, I was like, I have to take vitamins and healthy food. I would not need to take extra. It doesn't feel real that you're giving nutrients to your baby, but still, even though I felt nauseous or I felt like I didn't want to eat, I tried to tell myself that I have to eat, especially proteins or like good things for the baby, like folic acid. And when we would go to buy in the supermarket, I would try to remember and buy things that we really need for my body and for the baby. As I'm going near to the date of giving birth, I started doing more stretching, and the stretching that helps, especially for giving birth itself, stretching the legs. I'm doing squats, like 10 squats every day, and as we're getting closer to the birth again, it's getting harder and harder. Sitting up and down is getting so much hard, but I try to do it because as much as it's hard, it's helping and it's preparing for your birth. Listen, I am not encouraging you to do home birth. I'm just telling my story. I don't know if we will end up doing a home birth or if we will end up being in the hospital, but my goal is just to have a natural birth without any shots. And just to prepare for it, maximum if anything bad happens, I would have to have C-section. I would have to take some stuff. But I want to prevent those stuff. And I want it to be as natural as possible and like trust God in that. And not just trust in God, whatever I can do, I want to prepare my body for it. Preparing my birth mentally, it was taking some time because in the beginning of my pregnancy, thinking about it, I was kind of scared and I didn't want to think about it, and I had a lot of months left. So I was like, okay, it will come and it will pass. In the last few months, you're like, okay, soon you're gonna give birth and it's gonna happen. It started like this. Noam and I started watching like YouTube videos of how they actually give birth, and first you feel like it's very triggering and it's very uncomfortable to watch, but I told myself that this is natural and this is what every woman goes through, so I succeeded in watching it. There are even reels where the husband sees his wife giving birth and they faint, and those are really funny, but it's totally relatable. Instead of being emotional like, oh my gosh, giving birth, yada yada yada, I decided to think logically and go like, this is what's gonna go on. I want to prepare, so that's why I'm going to watch it. So we were seeing videos of how the midwives teaching of what's going on and how to do it. It is just a whole raw video of them actually giving birth from the beginning to the end, and that really helped us. And it prepared me emotionally and mentally. Whenever I see a fast and easy delivery, I'm like, God, I want this to be my delivery. And not just that, I would pray every night. Noam and I are praying every night that it would be a fast and smooth delivery, and the baby in our tummy is very healthy and safe, and she's getting all the nutrients that she's needing. I didn't know where to start, but we decided that we're gonna go to the ultrasound to check if the baby is doing okay. That's when we first heard our baby's heartbeat, and it was in the first trimester, so we didn't feel like, is the baby even there? And I felt that the baby is alive and I do have to take care of the baby. It was so emotional because it's like new life.
I was like so excited to hear the heartbeat. I was like, are you serious? And I felt like life, real life for the first time.
After the ultrasound, they gave us a bunch of paper that do all these checkups. We didn't go on it right away. We flew to our baby moon and then we came back and we decided to check again, which was my 4th or 5th month. And at that time, they were like, actually, your baby's pretty small. Let's delay the due date. So I was like, okay, maybe it's because I was born small and Noah was born small. The month after that, we checked. They were getting really worried. They were saying that the stomach part is 2 weeks like smaller than the head and the feet. And that means the baby might not get enough nutrients and food from the placenta. So the doctor was getting worried and they were telling us you should do all these checkups and gave us this paper again to check on which checkups we can do and to check if the baby is okay. And also, they're telling us, come in the 37th week, we're gonna induce your labor. I'm like, what are you talking about? They want my baby to come out 2 weeks before my due date? I don't want that. Like, I want it to be natural. That was my first goal. Noah and I got so scared and we didn't know what to do. We searched for all the checkups on the internet and trying to see if it is worth it to check if our baby is okay. We know that I am okay, my body is whole, and I'm healthy and I'm eating well and I don't have any other problems. And the doctor checked my blood, checked through my urination test that everything is fine. They said everything is fine and healthy. Not just that, in my stomach, I feel the baby moving actively, and that's what the nurse usually asks if the baby is active. According to the ultrasound, the placenta was completely normal and the blood flow was good, providing all the nutrients that is needed for the baby. So with all that, we are like, what should we do? Should we just go with our confidence, trust in God, and keep on preparing for our birth without the checkups? Or should we do at least a few of the checkups? Then suddenly, Noam's parents called. Just remember, it is the same day we checked up and they just decided to call us. And they were asking how we're doing. We're like, oh, we have this ultrasound. They want to induce my labor and everything. And Noam's mom delivered 7 babies. She has experience. She has gone through all what the doctors and the nurses tell her. And she was saying that there was a time when she was pregnant and the baby's head was 2 weeks bigger than the stomach and the stomach was 2 weeks bigger than the leg. They said it was abnormal and they want to abort the child or else he's gonna be born abnormal. Did they want to abort the child? Of course not. It was new life and they didn't want to do abortion at all. So they prayed and they waited and they delivered a healthy baby. Noam and I felt that that was exactly what we had to hear that day and we decided not to take the checkups. Here, we didn't take the checkups, but I don't know for you. Maybe you have to take it. I'm not saying don't take it. If you're not confident, take all of them. Because it is our last week before the 37th week, if we go to check on the ultrasound one more time, they're gonna put me into labor, go into the delivery room. And so I wanted to prevent that. I didn't want to do that at all. So we decided not to go to check in the ultrasound. Noam and I are so curious of how much our baby is weighing because they said if she weighs more now, they don't need to induce our labor. So we're very, very curious if the baby gained weight and trying to eat more healthy and more nutritions for the baby as much as possible. And at the same time, work on my squats, work on my stretching, and also doing pull-ups as long as my body is allowing me to. I feel like my body is getting heavier and heavier and it's hard to like drag my body to walk somewhere. And especially my butt and my thighs are getting cramps and my muscles are sore. It's a bit harder for walking, and I can barely run these days. It doesn't work.
I have muscle pain in every single corner of my butt and thigh and everything. But I have to overcome it, so what I have to do is I have to walk.
In the first few months of my pregnancy, I could run, I could do stuff like that, but now I can't because it hurts. My whole body is soaring, especially when I sleep. And so I feel mentally that I'm ready to give birth any second. I honestly think because I was born small and no one was born small, maybe our baby is gonna be born small. So instead of July 30th, if we go according to the time, it should be July 15th. So we have to expect the baby anytime around July and August, which is a very big gap. It can even come in the 38th week. So that's gonna be the first week of July. And then the original due date is 15th of July, which is in the middle of July. And according to the doctors, because of the baby is small, it's gonna be the 30th of July. And if it goes even over to the 42nd week, it can be until in the middle of August. So we're like, okay, we'll see when the baby is coming. I think because I've been preparing for giving birth since the beginning, I don't feel that scared. I don't feel nervous. I also, not just like praying to him and being thankful for such a healthy body, your body is preparing and you know that you're healthy, you know that you're eating fine, you know that the baby is moving fine. And the more you go close to the birth, you're just feeling, okay, now I'm ready to give birth. And I'm not saying that 100% we are going to give birth in the home. We are trying to delay as much as possible getting to the hospital because I heard they pressure you and I don't want them to pressure me. I want to be in my most comfortable atmosphere when I have to go through the pain and the pushing. And so we packed our hospital bag. We have a list of things that we want to bring just in case something happens. And we even know the list of things that we have to call the emergency and go to the hospital right away. After watching all those videos of how to give birth, we have a birth protocol. What to do when we are giving birth, especially when there's no one around you, there's no midwife or anything. When it is early labor. I did 10 squats this evening and it was the hardest thing ever. It was so hard to get up. I felt like I was so fat, or even my muscles are so weak. And we fell asleep at 10 and I wake up in the middle of the night, which was 12, and I went to the bathroom and I see all my underwear is wet and it's water.
It's 12 a.m. I don't know if you can see, but here it's like wet. And my whole underwear was wet. Invisible liquid that wet in my whole underwear. I had to wash my underwear and like put pads. And now I'm gonna put a towel. Oh, no, you can see how wet it is. And I don't know, maybe it's a water break. Who knows? We'll go to sleep.
And I'm like, Noam, I think my water broke. Noam was so tired. He was like, huh, what are you talking about? And he went back to sleep. So I'm putting this pad, going back to sleep. And then I wake up again. My pad is soaked with water. The bed was soaked with water too. And it wasn't that much water. It was leaking little by little.
Now he's having a little bit of food, going over the materials and stuff. So, yeah, getting ready. It's now 1:30, almost 1:35 a.m. So we were very hungry, me too. And it's a little bit cold now for now, which usually is not the case. And like in the last few weeks, she felt pretty hot, and I was always like covering myself with a blanket. But now she feels a little bit colder.
So we closed the door and the window.
Mm-hmm.
So right now I am timing my contractions and the baby movements and also the liquid leak. It feels so weird. It feels like the pee is coming out without your control. It's like warm and it's like wetting your underwear and everything. Even though I have pads, it's still leaking and it feels weird. I mean, the smell is not that bad. It's not supposed to be bad, and the color is very clear. It's a little bit sticky. But anyways, It also feels weird, like when you go to pee, like you pee, you wipe it, and they're like the sticky liquid with it, and then you put on your underwear again, and it's like wet. So yeah. So at the moment, that's what I'm timing. I'm like very chill. Just can't really sleep right now. We're both like pretty wide awake and we were hungry, so we just ate. Contractions feel like period cramps. Also same as period cramps because like between the contractions I had like slight pain, which also feel like you're in your period.
We're going over the birth protocol, what to do when these and these and these happen. So what I'm starting to do is I am writing down in my WhatsApp to Noam what time I have the contractions. In the beginning, it starts pretty weak. It's really like the period cramps. And the more you go, the more you get stronger and more often. Throughout the whole night, I couldn't sleep because I had contractions. But every 30 minutes when I didn't have the contractions, I would fall asleep. So I would fall asleep, I feel contractions, I wake up, I write it down, and then I go back to sleep again. And then I wake up when I feel pain, and then I write it down. And it was like between 30 minutes, sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes 15 minutes. And it was until 8 in the morning. 8 in the morning, Noam woke up.
Hey, good morning. I woke up. It's 8:35. Since we went to sleep,
What?
Since we went to sleep, I fall asleep very fast and I even snored, bro. Like I never snore. There is no
Yeah, so I'm getting contractions. I got contractions every 10 minutes since 4 a.m. And so every contraction I would, be awake because I was sleeping and then I feel it, so I wake up because it hurts, and then I would write it down. And sometimes I would feel baby movements, and sometimes I feel the liquid leak. And yeah, that's my morning. And I'm still having contractions every 10 minutes. So now I feel like there are 3 to 5 contractions every 10 minutes.
I have very bad period cramps, so this for me was pretty bearable, and I just thought it was like a period. I'm like walking around trying to distract myself, and I think it's good that I was active instead of just sitting. Like moving kind of like distracted me from the pain, and so I would walk back and forth in the room and trying to like breathe heavily as much as possible so that I can feel like something's going on. After that, I decided that I am going to lie down.
noise eating grapes. How do you feel?
It's sweet and tasty. I think I was hungry.
Mm-hmm. It's like actually sweet and not too like when it's
Yeah.
kind of.
Also, like lying down like this kind of helps me right now, so that's why I'm laying there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm waiting and I'm waiting, and then the contractions became really strong. It got really strong to the point I couldn't hold myself in the side, and so I decided to go on my fours. And when the contraction was happening, I didn't feel it, I didn't want to, but my body was just pushing it out. Just pushing it out. I didn't push it out. People think you have to push the baby out, but I didn't do anything and my body's just pushing. It's so natural. So I was like, while the contraction is happening, while you feel the pain, your body's just pushing out. And when it was pushing out, Noam did a peekaboo in the baby's hair. You can see the baby's hair. Because our baby has hair, not like bald hair, and it was black hair, so he could see it. And he was like, I see the baby's hair. I could still talk while this was happening. Of course it hurted, but it wasn't as painful as other people were telling me. And I would push again. And again, it's not me pushing. My body is pushing. Even though you don't feel like pushing, your body just pushes by itself. And after 1 or 2 pushes, the head came out. The shoulder came out. Whoop. And then the whole body came out. and she started crying, and we heard the baby. I was filled with excitement. I didn't remember any pain at that moment because I heard the baby crying. I couldn't believe that our baby just came out. And I'm like just hugging the baby. I was so emotional. I was like, this is our baby. I just delivered our baby. And we see her right here in my arms. And it was such an emotional time. We have to check her skin color, if she's actively moving, if she's crying, and everything was so perfect. She was born so healthy. Of course, she was really tiny, but she was very, very healthy. And I also felt good.
Morning. Yeah. We are finally home. Baby's going to sleep.
I'm not saying you have to do home birth, but what I'm saying is be prepared and go over all the materials so that you know what you're going through when you give birth. Also prepare yourself mentally and physically so that you don't need to panic at the end. Whether you're doing home birth, whether you're in the hospital, you should know what your body is doing. It's not a medical procedure, it's a natural thing. We attached the materials in the links below that helped us to get ready, so I encourage you to watch that. Work out, eat healthy food. See you later. Bye bye.